Now you watch where you're running.
Look out, Abigail, behind you. There's nothing behind me. But I got away.
Watch out, you silly girls. Watch you. Tramping in the garden, you Papa be so mad.
Oh, be quiet, Tituba. I don't have to do what you say.
You Papa say no running in his garden.
If you tell on me, I'll tell Papa that you pray to the devil.
No, I don't. I never pray to devil no more.
What used to happen, Tituba? When you prayed to the devil, I mean.
Terrible things happen. I'm not tell you.
Come on, we won't tell on you.
All right then. It be all spirits.
Abigail, Elizabeth, I can stay the afternoon. What are you playing? Nothing. Tituba was telling us about the witches and spirits.
That's evil.
Oh, I know. I'm not telling no more about it.
What? Not tell any more? Nonsense. You must. Tell us all about it. How will we recognize witches if we don't know what it is that witches do?
Oh, they know witches here. This be Massachusetts.
Do you think that it's only in Jamaica the devil lives and works his wickedness? There's corruption in all the world. Here, too.
Do you think so?
What a lark. Of course not. What a lark.
Then be quiet so we can listen to Tituba.
You be crazy girls. That's right. I'll not tell you any more.
Then I'll tell Papa I saw you holding a little heathen idol in your hands.
You not tell on me, Abigail. Sweet little girl. You not tell on poor old Tituba.
Come on, then.
What about the spirits?
Well, in Jamaica, when somebody does you bad, you hurt him. You call the spirits, and the spirits go and they stick him, or make him sick, or kill his pig.
How do you call the spirits?
I not tell you.
Oh,
If I tell you, maybe you call them. And I don't want no spirits knows where Tituba be. I go a long way in the boat to get away from the devil, and I don't want you to call him here.
we are good Christian girls. We will not call the devil.
You don't lie to Tituba.
We never lie. We're good Christians.
Mostly.
I tell you, maybe a little.
Yeah.
About the spirits, how they poison you from far away.
This is so much fun.
My dear, I am afraid that Salem is a wicked, wicked place.
Oh, Samuel, how can you say it?
It grieves me, but I cannot interpret things in any other way. Why else does the village committee persist in denying me my salary as pastor of the Salem church? Have I failed them in any way? Do my sermons not last a good 4 hours? Surely they do not wish me to speak any longer on the Sabbath? Do I not visit the sick in the parish and do all my duties?
It's just because we're still strangers here.
Yes, strangers. And they want to turn us out of doors. I have a contract as pastor in Salem, and now they have refused even the tiniest tax to pay for us to live. Do they want my children to die in the street? My wife to be a beggar?
I think they just want us to go back to Jamaica.
Never. In Jamaica, I was a man of money. I bought and sold, and the devil lived in that dark place. Elizabeth Paris?
Yes, Papa?
Are you running?
Yes, Papa.
I fear for your soul, child. In this wicked village, you are being corrupted by your very playmates. I think, my dear, that Elizabeth would be better behaved if she no longer associated with the local children.
No!
Samuel, I don't think...
Corruption, lying, bad faith. Will she grow up to be as devilish as the rest?
Papa, is there really a devil?
As sure as there's a God, there's a devil. If you want proof, you need only look at your neighbors.
Samuel, you're confusing the poor girl.
Does the devil send spirits into people's bodies?
Why, Elizabeth, you're frightened.
Why do you have such questions, Elizabeth? Has Tituba been talking to you about this sort of thing? I swear I'll sell that worthless woman in Maryland before I'll have her fill your head with nonsense about...
No, it wasn't Tituba. It was what you said about the wickedness in Salem.
Well, that is true. There are oath breakers here. There are liars. There is conspiracy. I wouldn't be surprised to find out at the Judgment Day that this little dispute over whether the village committee will pay for the Salem church is really a vast war between the Lord and the devil. If the devil can cast a minister out of his pulpit...
Or at least starve his family and make him miserable.
Then Christianity is not safe here. These people will become as savage and evil as the benighted slaves in Jamaica.
Are there any witches?
And wizards, too. Slaves and servants and friends of the devil. They knew how to deal with such things in the old days. None of these lawsuits and trials. If you find a witch or an atheist, burn him at the stake. Hang him from the neck until dead.
Rather drastic measures. Lawsuits are better.
I will not let them drive me out of Salem without a struggle. We're at war, I tell you. War!
Papa says there really are witches and wizards. The very people who are trying to get him thrown out of the parsonage.
You're such a ninny, Elizabeth.
Save me! Save me! The devil is pricking me with pins. I feel it here and here. Ah! Help me, Lord! Deliver me from the devil!
Oh, no. Oh, Anne, what will we do? What can we do against the devil except pray?
Our Father which art in heaven, now I lay me down to sleep. Listen to her. Now I lay me down. Why are you laughing during a prayer?
It's the devil making me laugh at your prayers. A witch has sent an evil spirit.
Really?
Oh, yes. The witches all have their eye on us. Every good girl in Salem gets attacks like these from the witches. I guess you aren't a good girl, Elizabeth, if you don't get these attacks.
Sometimes I do.
Really? What does it feel like?
Pins pricking me here and here.
How odd. That's just where they pricked me.
And when you're walking along, do you suddenly feel weak and fall over?
Sometimes.
And do you sometimes burn yourself without even touching the fire or the pot?
Yes, yes.
And you suddenly double over in agony, as if a mule had kicked you, even though you're all alone?
And do you feel sick to your stomach during prayers?
And do you fall asleep during your father's sermon?
Always. Why are you laughing at me?
The devil. He makes us laugh at righteousness.
He wants people to think that there aren't any witches in the world.
But there aren't there?
You watch. All day tomorrow the spirits will be after me. I'll fall over for no reason at all.
Me too. And sometimes I'll just start to twitch.
Do you think it'll happen to me?
If you're a good girl, the devil only torments good girls.
I can feel the spirits pricking me with needles. Long needles.
Stop it, Elizabeth. They're scaring me.
The whole village is filled with evil spirits. The whole village.
Stop it, Elizabeth.
I can't help it.
I was just playing.
So is she.
Help me. Help me. Oh, pray for me. Pray for the spirits to go away. Make the witches leave me alone.
Maybe we'd better tell her father.
Old Reverend Paris? I wouldn't tell him. He'd have our hide.
Don't you talk like that about my father.
I thought the spirits were torturing you.
Maybe they were. But don't talk about my father like that.
There's a new doctor in town, Mrs. Paris.
Yes, Dr. Griggs. I've met him at church.
Have you taken your Elizabeth to see him yet?
Elizabeth? Why should I take Elizabeth, Goody Humphrey?
Why, it's all over town, the crazy way she's acting. Her and that, Abigail, who lives with you in the parsonage. And the Putnam girl, Anne.
I've heard nothing about it.
You mean they aren't like that at home?
Like what?
Walking bent over, bumping into furniture, waving their hands, crying out softly for help. There's some who says it's witchcraft.
Oh, nonsense. Girls will have plays and games at that age.
For days on end.
If they were bewitched, Goody Humphrey, they'd be bewitched at home, too.
In the minister's house. Maybe the devil is biding his time before he shows his power right in the parsonage.
They do it all the time, you say?
Every few minutes or so, right in public. Everyone watches.
I think I'll have a word about this with my husband.
Why, Reverend Paris. Come in, sir. And you, young ladies.
This is my daughter, Elizabeth.
How do you do, sir?
And this is Abigail, who lives with my family at the parsonage.
Well, good day to you all.
How do you like Salem, Dr. Griggs?
I've been here such a short time, and already I feel quite at home, sir. Except, of course, that the village is too healthy. I have no patients yet.
Then you must be glad to see us.
Glad to see you, and yet sorry that there should be any misfortune or ill health in your house. I assume that it is one of the young ladies who is unwell?
Both of them.
Oh, my. Fever? Nausea? Fainting?
I wish it were that simple.
Miss Abigail, you seem to have a twitch in your face.
Help me. Oh, no. It's starting again. Look. The spirits are tormenting her.
Oh, it's hot as fire. Hot as fire. It's burning. Burning. Burning.
Dr. Griggs, sir, can you help poor Abigail?
Well, where does it hurt?
My feet. My feet.
Well, let's have her shoes off. Here. Now, where does it hurt?
It moved. As soon as you touched my feet, it was burning my back. My back.
When this attack comes, as soon as you look at the afflicted part, the torment changes to another place.
I've never seen such a disease.
My own daughter falls on the floor sometimes and screams that pins are pricking her.
How long has this been going on?
Weeks, apparently. But it never happened at the parsonage, not at first. My wife heard about these things happening while the girls were about in the village. I called them in and talked to them about it. And while I was talking, they had these fits for the first time, right there in the parsonage. That close to the Church of God.
I know that it's the custom for physicians never to admit it if they do not know what's wrong with a patient. But I must tell you the truth. I've never heard of a disease like this.
That is what I feared.
Not a disease, then?
I was acquainted with such things often in Jamaica. Witchcraft, sir.
Possessed by demons?
No, Dr. Griggs. Those who are possessed by devils are constantly afflicted. With these poor children, the affliction comes and goes, and between times they are quite well. I believe that witches and wizards may be tormenting them. It happened often among the slaves in Jamaica. I'm afraid you think this is not scientific, and will refuse to have these girls as patients.
On the contrary, if science does not attempt to deal with the supernatural, then what can science claim to know? The devil is the cause of more human suffering than we might suspect. I will take these girls as patients, Reverend Paris.
At least the devil has enough respect for the church that he dares not work his evil within its walls. I wish the people of Salem were so respectful. I remain unpaid, Because the village committee has refused to levy a tax to maintain the church.
Do you think I will turn away the sick and afflicted because of a lack of money? All I ask is that, as pastor in Salem village, you simply mention to others that you find my work satisfactory. Only if you actually find it satisfactory, of course.
You are most kind.
Let us examine these girls together, Reverend. For what confuses the man of science may seem quite clear to the man of God.
Morning, Giles.
Morning, John.
You just been to town?
Yep.
Any news?
Well, just a pack of stupidity. Them village folks got themselves all excited about witchcraft.
Witchcraft?
A couple of schoolgirls been wiggling and yelling how they're being tortured. Reverend Parrish says it's witchcraft practiced to get 'em.
Well, now I see why the village committee won't pay that man his salary. This is 1692, Giles. Are there grown men and women believing this nonsense?
Yeah, who's to say it's nonsense and who's to say it ain't?
Look around you, Giles Corey. Hey, you're an old man. You've seen this village from the start. Now tell me, man, which of our neighbors is anything but Christian?
Not all folks is what they say.
Giles, I'm beginning to think you've already lived too long. Your mind is going if you believe these tales.
And how do you know they ain't true, John Proctor?
Well, I guess I don't. But when young girls are acting strange, if I have to choose between witchcraft and tomfoolery to explain it, I'll choose tomfoolery every time.
Then who's the tomfool if it's really witches?
Get along with you, Giles. Nothing's going to come of it anyway.
Oh, go on there, go on there.
John, what were you talking about with old Giles Corey?
Some fool girls in the village, my dear, that's all. Getting the grown-ups all excited with their play acting, it's nothing.
Well, Aunt, I don't think it's funny.
Oh, mercy. You're just mad because you didn't think of it.
Getting everybody all worried about a stupid game?
It isn't a game, Mercy.
You hush up, Elizabeth. You're only 9 years old anyway.
She's right, Mercy. How do you know it isn't a game?
You just said it was a game. If you don't stop right now, I'm going to tell everybody that you're a liar.
Oh, are you? And what if I tell them you are a witch and that you are calling me a liar to protect yourself? What then?
You can't do that.
Why not?
Because they hang witches.
I thought they burned them at the stake.
They burn them if they confess and then go on being witches. But if they don't confess at all, they hang them.
Oh, they never would.
Oh, don't you think so? I heard that Lizzie Hubbard's uncle, Dr. Griggs, he said...
He's my uncle. Let me tell.
Well, tell it then.
He said that if he were the Reverend and his daughter was being afflicted, he'd have that witch on the end of a rope so fast the devil wouldn't have time to say howdy do.
They're talking about hanging. This game is dangerous.
Then it's all the more reason for you to make sure you don't start telling lies about us.
It's the truth I'll tell.
She's pinching me. Look, her fingers are pinched together. She's pinching me right here.
I'm not even touching you.
Make her stop. Stop pinching her, Mercy.
I'm not.
She's pinching me too. Ow!
My fingers aren't even pinched together, see?
They fell down. Mercy flung out her hand and it knocked them both down, just like that.
The power of the devil is afflicting us through the devil's servant, Mercy Lewis.
You're so funny, Mercy.
You know it's a lie. You heard them tell us it was all a game.
Yes, I know, but look at them, Mercy.
Rolling on the ground. What does that prove? Anybody can roll on the ground.
The witches are attacking all the pure-hearted girls in Salem Village. If they aren't attacking you, that means you must be a witch, too, in your heart. Come on now, Lizzie Hubbard. Haven't you felt the pinpricks of the devil's servants? Haven't you ever felt them burn you with hot irons?
Yes, I have, sometimes.
And you, Mary Warren, are you pure, or do the witches leave you alone?
Oh, no, they torture me all the time. But I was ashamed and kept it a secret.
Can't you feel Mercy Lewis scratching you with her fingernails?
Yes, I can. Stop it, Mercy. Leave me alone. I'm not doing anything.
You're a witch, Mercy.
I'm not a witch.
They'll hang you. You'll see. They'll hang you, and you'll be dead, hanging up there in front of everybody. You witch, witch, witch!
No, I'm not a witch. I can feel it pinching me, too, and burning me. I can feel it right now.
Well, if Mercy isn't the witch, who is?
Who is it, Mercy? Who's the witch?
I don't know.
I know. I've seen her 100 times, coming at night to slap me and scratch me in my sleep.
Who?
Goody Good. Sarah Good. She's always mumbling spells and evil words under her breath. You've seen her.
Everyone knows she's crazy.
Torturing me in my sleep, the way Tituba says the witches do.
And Tituba herself, she's a witch. That much is plain.
And Goody Osborne. She yelled at me the other day. She hates me so. I know she's the one destroying me. Just destroying me.
Judge Hawthorne, are you going to help us or not?
Witchcraft? I don't know what to do, Tom. I've never heard of anyone tried for witchcraft since Joan of Arc.
It isn't just a few girls anymore, Judge Hawthorne. Now it's Dr. Grigg's niece, Elizabeth Hubbard, and Mercy Lewis, and Mary Warren. It's spreading, and we've got to stop it now before every pure and virtuous child in Salem is destroyed by these foul witches.
What evidence? We have only the word of these children, and, well, in your complaint, of course.
What other evidence can we have? Witchcraft is done using powers that we can't see. If you can't take the word of the witches' victims, then how will we ever be able to save them?
Well, I must make some inquiries. This is a religious matter, and I am not trained in it. I shall talk to the ministry. Reverend Parris, perhaps, and Reverend Burroughs. I'll even write to Cotton Mather. Yes, Cotton Mather. He knows all about the doctrines of the gospel. He'll know what I should do.
And in the meantime, these witches will be left free to torment others as they please?
Oh, no, I'll send for them. I'll give a warrant for their arrest. Today, immediately.
John Proctor, John!
What's wrong? Is it one of the boys?
No, our sons are fine. Our daughters are fine. But, John, you said this witchcraft affair would come to nothing.
Well, hasn't it?
They've arrested Goody Good and Goody Osborne and Reverend Parris's black servant Tituba for witchcraft.
Judge Hawthorne will throw it out of court.
Judge Hawthorne issued the warrant.
What sort of madness is this? Goody Good is a troubled woman with a foul temper, that's all. She's still a good mother to her children.
And Goody Osborne tried to cheat her first husband's children. But that was stopped months ago, and now she's sick in bed.
And Tituba is a slave. Now, isn't that a coincidence? That the first people they name as witches are 3 women who haven't a friend in this town. Goody Good's own husband would probably testify against her. He hates her so much. You see what they're doing? They're accusing the friendless, people that no one would defend. It's a shame.
Oh, I'm sure when the girls see what harm they're doing, they'll confess all and stop it.
They're only children. All they'll probably see is that the adults are playing their game right along with them. No, we must put a stop to it at once.
What will you do?
I'll finish plowing and planting because the spring won't wait for any man. And then I'll go to town and let my opinion be heard.
Oh, no, John, you mustn't.
But I must, before any more harm is done.
But what if they accuse you?
If I have earned the respect of any man in my life, then now's the time to prove my worth. Besides, they'll never accuse me. No one would believe it for an instant.
They've arrested Sarah Good's little 4-year-old daughter, Dorcas.
What?
They say she does witchcraft right along with her mother.
They've done that, and you expect me to keep silent?
Martin, my son, you look so cheerful.
Well, I am, Father. I just got a letter from Judge Hawthorne in Salem. He asks me, as the foremost doctrinal scholar of Massachusetts, whether there are any witches.
And what will you tell him?
Why, I'll tell him yes, of course.
Here you are, then, Mr. Caleb. The witches are all in the cells along here.
The accused witches, bailiff.
If you had to sit here and listen to them all day, you know they was witches, too.
Bailiff, that child, that little child...
Oh, she's a witch, too, right enough. Her mother's Sarah Good. Taught her witchcraft right along.
Yeah. How old is she?
How should I know?
Little girl? Little girl, what is your name?
Dorcas.
Uh-huh. And how old are you?
4.
Do you know why you're here?
I'm a witch.
What? Is it true?
No.
Well, then why do you say it?
Because the man told me to.
Did he say why?
If I don't, they'll hang me.
Well, they won't hang you. Not if I can help it. You just tell the truth, little Dorcas.
You do her no favor, man, whoever you are.
Oh?
They mean to kill us all. My name's Osborne. They've wanted to hang me for a long time. But I'll fool them. I'll die in prison. I'm dying right now. Can't hang a dead woman, can they?
No one's going to be hanged. The people of Massachusetts won't stand for this nonsense. Well, if there's a witch in this jail, show me now. Torment me, torture me the way they say you torture these little girls.
That don't prove nothing, Mr. Caleb. They only do it to the pure in heart. They'll just say you're in league with the devil.
This is nonsense, all of it.
Reverend Mather don't think so.
Well, Reverend Cotton Mather is a fool, sir. Let him believe in witches and ghosts and goblins all he likes. I will refute him and see to it that this terrible injustice is stopped.
I'd be careful if I was you, sir.
Why?
A man named John Proctor, a farmer and landlord and tavern keeper near Salem, he said that too.
What happened?
He's in irons waiting for his trial. Turns out he's a wizard, too. Are you a wizard?
Of course not.
Then why are you so worried about trying to defend witches and wizards?
Because they're not witches and wizards.
How do you know that?
Because there are no such creatures.
Well, Reverend Mather proves there is. Don't it say in the Bible that King Saul went to the witch of Endor? Didn't it say that the Lord Jesus cast out devils?
We have learned a great deal about the world since then.
It's in the Bible, Mr. Caleb. Don't you believe in God?
I believe in God. I also believe these people are innocent.
You just watch yourself, Mr. Caleb. I think you maybe have trouble ahead of you.
This may be harder than I thought.
The new governor, Governor Phipps, has arrived in Boston, and the trials can begin.
You mean the governor hasn't orders not to do it?
Reverend Cotton Mather explained things to him, and the governor refuses to interfere with local justice.
Thomas, is your daughter here? The other girls?
Just outside.
Bring them to me.
Well, Judge Hawthorne, what do you mean to do?
I mean not to hold any trials at all if I can help it. You are the girls who have been afflicted by these witches?
We are.
Can't you stop that twitching young woman?
It's part of her affliction.
We have been authorized to proceed with the trials.
Oh, at last.
Oh, good.
We shall
shall be saved.
But before we begin, I want to warn you.
Judge Hawthorne, speak gently to them. After all, they've been through...
Because of your words, children, people may live or die. You must tell the truth at all times, or God will punish you.
The devil already punishes us.
These people we have arrested because of your words. If they are innocent, they must go free.
What about us? We are innocent, and yet we are being punished. Don't you care about us?
Of course I do.
Then why are you accusing us of lying? Why are you wasting time attacking us when the enemies of God are free?
The people you have named are in jail.
Do you think that stops them? Even now they torment us. Are you also in league with them?
No, I just wanted to be sure that...
Save me!
Judge Hawthorne, can't we begin the trial?
Sarah Good, who is the evil spirit you are familiar with?
None at all.
Haven't you made a contract with the devil?
No.
She pinches me!
Why do you hurt these children?
I do not hurt them. I scorn them.
What spirit do you employ, then, to hurt them for you?
I'm a poor woman, Judge Hawthorne. I imply nobody.
I mean, what spirit do you use?
None, sir. Can't you understand the truth? I'm falsely accused.
Then why did you go away muttering from Reverend Parris's house?
I didn't mutter. I thanked him for the food he gave my child.
It's a lie. She muttered curses on me.
Reverend Parris, are you writing down the testimony or giving it?
Writing it, Judge Corwin.
I spoke softly, perhaps.
And ungraciously. Is that thanks?
I was born to be a lady, and now I'm sunken to the level of a beggar, feeding my poor daughter from charity. I was ashamed to beg. Of course, I talked softly.
Look upon these girls. Look at these girls.
Make her look away! I can't bear it! She's torturing us!
Stop tormenting these children.
I'm not. They're pretending. They're lying.
Are you calling my daughter a liar?
Silence, Reverend Parris. Sarah Good, do you expect this court to believe that all these girls are lying at once? But you alone are telling the truth?
No. Oh, I don't know.
Why don't you confess, Sarah? For the good of your soul, to save your soul.
Make her stop! Please, make her stop!
It isn't me doing it. I'm not doing it.
Then who is?
Goody Osborne. Goody Osborne torments them, not me. She's the one, not me.
How do you know that? If you're not a witch yourself.
I don't know.
You are catching yourself in lies, Sarah Good. You are a witch. And Goody Osborne is a witch by your own admission. The court will note that Sarah Good's own words have condemned her.
I'm sorry, Mr. Caliph. I can't print your book.
Can't? Why not? You print longer books than this every month.
Because, sir, this book is blasphemous.
Blasphemous? I should like to know how.
Why, Reverend Cotton Mather says in his book that anyone who denies the existence of witches is denying also the existence of God.
That is not true.
I'd say Reverend Mather knows more about religion than you do, sir. Don't come back to my shop.
I think your book is excellent, Mr. Caliph, and I wish you success.
Good.
But I won't print it.
What? You said it was excellent.
And I think Cotton Mather is clean out of his mind. But I like being a printer, and if I publish your book, they'll close me out in a day.
But my book is true.
Sure it is. But I'm not going to jail for it. Take it to New York or someplace like that. Not here. You'll never get that book printed in Boston.
If I go to New York, it will be too late. Some people might be hanged before then.
Then I suggest you hurry.
You are a coward, sir.
Every man with a wife and children is a coward when the government has the power to take away his livelihood and make his family starve.
What about the people in prison for witchcraft? Don't you care about their starving families?
Don't yell at me, sir. I could have lied and told you that I thought you were wrong, or that I don't have the time, or that my press is broken down.
Yes, I suppose I'd rather deal with an honest coward than a hypocrite. Good day, sir. And I pray that you will sleep well, knowing that the blood of innocence is on your hands.
Don't blame me. It's my family against theirs.
What are these papers, Mr. Proctor?
They are my defense. They are petitions signed by dozens of my neighbors, people who have known me all my life. They have signed their names, swearing that I am a good Christian, that I treat people kindly, that I am known for dignity and soberness and honesty in all my dealings.
They're all true signatures, Judge Hawthorne. John Proctor is a godly man, if anyone is.
Order! Order! Mr. Proctor, it's all very well that you have friends willing to vouch for you. But none of this is proof that you're not secretly a witch.
But what other proof can I have? I no more send a spirit out to torment people than you do, Judge Hawthorne. Can you prove that you aren't a wizard?
This is outrageous. No one has accused me.
But if they did, how would you defend yourself in a court like this?
Look at the girls. They're choking. They're choking even as you speak.
I can pretend to be choking, too. So can anyone. They're lying, that's all.
You are choking them, sir. Stop it. Look, they're going to strangle to death if you don't stop. I'll have you beaten if you don't.
Oh, thank you, Judge Hawthorne. You frightened him into stopping.
See, they breathe or choke at his command.
How could I stop choking them when I never started?
I am frightened that a man of such evil could pretend to be good so as to fool so many other people.
May I see that list, Judge Hawthorne?
No.
And why don't you want Reverend Parris to see the names of those who vouch for you?
Because he'll tell the names to his daughter. And soon you'll find that all the people who were brave enough to sign their names will be hauled into this mockery of a court, accused with the same lies.
This man is an ordained minister.
Ordain a mule and it doesn't become a stallion.
Hear how he mocks holy ordination.
Take him out. We've heard enough from him. I imagine we'll learn more from his wife.
My wife?
It was discovered this morning that your wife is also a witch.
You little liars! Leave my wife alone!
What seemed to be a marriage was really a conspiracy of evil.
I am not afraid to die, but if you harm my wife, I pray that God will destroy your souls and send you to the devil.
Did you hear that? He called upon the power of the devil against us.
Judge Hawthorne, if I have all this power, why haven't I used it against you? Why do I supposedly torment these little girls, knowing that doing it will surely kill me? Why don't I destroy you and end this trial?
It's not my business to guess why you do or do not torment people. Only to determine whether or not you do it.
As Cotton Mather explained, these evil people unwittingly destroy themselves. It is in the nature of evil to destroy itself. That is why he does not harm you and persist in attacking these poor children. He cannot help it.
I see there is no defense against a court of fools.
Rebecca Nurse, you see these children. You see how they're afflicted.
The Lord knows I have not hurt them. I am an innocent person.
If you aren't hurting them, why is it that you're not moved with pity for them? Everyone else weeps for them, and there you stand with dry eyes.
You do not know my heart.
Well, then, do you believe that these girls are lying? Do you claim they are not harmed by spirits?
I cannot say.
Either they're lying, or they're not lying, goody nurse. Do you accuse them of lying?
If I call them liars, sir, then Reverend Paris will call me an atheist for denying that there are witches and evil spirits, and then you will condemn me anyway.
Don't answer impudently. Do you believe these girls are lying? Yes or no?
No. I believe they are mistaken in thinking that I torment them.
For the good of your soul, goody nurse, repent and confess the glory of God. You've seemed a good woman all your life. Don't let the devil capture you now.
Look, she leaned her head on one side, and all the girls did too.
Would they do it if their backs were turned and they could not see me?
That would prove nothing. You would merely stop tormenting them.
Oh, I swear before God that I am innocent.
I swear before God that I am innocent.
Must you also mock me?
Must you also mock me? Make her hold up her head. She's hurting me. Oh, hurting
Make
me.
the prisoner hold her head up. Now, goody nurse, why are these girls so afflicted while we are examining you if you are innocent?
What answer can I make?
You can confess and repent.
I will never confess to a lie.
Are quiet in those cells.
Elizabeth, I am afraid for you after I'm dead.
I am afraid of only one thing. That you will be so forgiving that after you are dead, you will not stand at the judgment bar of God and testify against these people.
Well, what about you? Have they set a date for you to die?
Didn't they even tell you? They have condemned me, but they will not execute me.
Elizabeth, well, that's wonderful.
Because I'm pregnant. They wouldn't want to kill my innocent baby along with me.
So many women die in childbearing. And now, bearing a child will keep you alive.
They came and stripped the house, took everything. And Will is in jail now, too.
My sons, my daughters, too.
If you had just kept silent and not opposed them, they would not be murdering you today.
But if I hadn't spoken out against them, Elizabeth, I would be ashamed to stay alive when innocent people were dying. Teach my new child that his father was an honest man, for all his other failings.
Oh, John. It's the good men who die in times like these.
I am willing to die, but I have a right to speak my last words to these people.
Go ahead, then.
Is that wise, Judge Corwin?
Even sinners have the right to confess before they die, Reverend Mather.
My good people, you have heard me speak to you many times before in happier times. I have taught the gospel to you. I have told you the stories of Jesus, and I have seen many of you with tears in your eyes, for the Spirit of God reached out and touched your hearts when I spoke. Some of you who have come to watch me die today have come to me in other times with broken hearts, and I have taught you to pray to God and helped you to become joyful again. Do you remember, or have you forgotten?
I'll never forget you, Reverend. Yes, we remember. Yes.
Now, today I will be hanged as a wizard, hanged as a servant of Satan. I tell you that in all my life I have served only God, and anyone who says otherwise, they are the liars. They are the servants of the devil. Yet I forgive them, for they are children. One last time I will pray with you. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come,
Anne,
thy will be
I'm
done
afraid.
on earth.
He really is a good man.
He spoke against my father.
But the people,
And
they
forgive us our
believe him.
trespasses as
They
we
may
forgive
even
those who
stop the
trespass
execution.
He will die.
against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
Reverend Burroughs is a man of God.
Didn't you see? The devil stood beside him and told him every word to say.
He said the Lord's Prayer. Does the devil teach a man to confess God and pray to him?
I am the Reverend Cotton Mather, and I tell you that this Mr. Burroughs may pretend to be a minister all he likes, but he was never ordained. Furthermore, the devil may appear as an angel of light, and only the pure in heart can tell the difference. These innocent girls saw the devil standing beside that man. Anyone who speaks against his death is obviously a servant of the devil.
Proceed. Well, that was close. I was afraid the crowd would stop the execution.
The devil cannot save his servants. Usually he doesn't even try.
Still, Reverend Mather, I always thought he was a good man, and it pains me to watch him hang.
That is a weakness of your soul, then, sir. You should rejoice that the world is that much less sinful.
Giles Corey, do you plead innocent or guilty? You must plead, sir, innocent or guilty.
Mr. Corey, perhaps you are not aware. There is a law in Massachusetts that if a man refuses to plead, he must be laid on the ground and heavy stones placed on his body. More and more stones until he either pleads innocent or guilty, or until he dies. Do you understand?
I understand.
How do you plead, then? Take him away.
Reverend Paris, come in.
Giles Corey died tonight.
Died? He never entered a plea.
His last words were, "More weight."
But that would take such courage. To die like that. Why didn't he plead?
Some are saying that he didn't plead because he knew it would do him no good. Some are saying that in this court, no matter how a man pleads, he'll be hanged. So Giles Corey wouldn't talk because the court was not worthy of being talked to.
Papa, I had a vision. I knew Giles Corey was dead because the witches were torturing me all night, telling me that they would press me and press me so I couldn't breathe. Oh, it was terrible. All night I could hardly breathe. And then Giles Corey died. And the witches, they let me be. He was the one who was doing it to me. And God made him die before I did, to save my life.
There, Reverend Paris. Did you hear that? Here is the voice of truth. That will answer those who say we aren't doing a good work.
I went to the court yesterday in Priest. The trials of the witches, the so-called witches.
So-called?
In good faith, in Priest Mather, I was ashamed. For the more I watched those hysterical little girls, the more I realized that there was no answering them. I tried to think. If I were accused by them, how would I answer it? why, I would say just what these people were saying. They stand there without friend, without a lawyer to advise them, and no matter what they say, the judges or those girls turn it against them.
Yes, I have become more and more concerned myself.
Your own son, Cotton. He is one of the main supports of these trials. His book is quoted as proof.
Cotton writes too many books. I believe the devil is real and works against us, but I am afraid that in their zeal, these judges and these excitable children may be condemning the innocent along with the guilty. Surely there was witchcraft to begin with, but I hear that now the girls are accusing famous men of Boston whom they've never so much as met.
Oh, yes. And much of the testimony is from people who have been told that if they will accuse others, they will go free themselves. How honest a witness will we get then?
In other words, people have been dying on the flimsiest of evidence.
Yes.
Let us have a meeting of the leading ministers immediately, before another soul dies.
Father, have you seen this book by Robert Califf? I am outraged. He dares to call me a fool and ridicule my teachings. I tried to find out who printed it, but it was no one in Boston. He's making a laughingstock of me. I heard people call me a murderer, as if those witches were innocent and I had helped accuse them falsely. I want this Robert Califf brought to trial.
No, Cotton.
No?
There have been enough trials.
The work is just beginning, Father.
I have met with the pastors of the leading churches of the colony, Cotton, and we are urging that no one else be tried for witchcraft, regardless of the evidence, that all those convicted or in custody be set free.
What?
I have already written my statement.
But why?
Cotton, innocent people have been killed.
Perhaps I have suspected that there might be too much zeal in some of the accusers. But, Father, the devil is working here in Massachusetts, and we must fight him.
Well, then, we will fight him with preaching, with writing.
What if a witch goes free?
Oh, I have been in agony for days thinking of just that. But I know the answer now.
What?
It is better that 10 suspected witches go free than to hang one innocent man or woman.
All right, Father.
Well, you have a question.
What about Califf's book ridiculing me?
I'll have it burned in the college yard. I have no love for a man like Robert Califf, who wants to destroy people's faith in things that cannot be seen by the physical eye.
But the trials will stop.
With all the leading ministers of the colony calling for the trials to end, yes, I think the civil authorities will go along, and the trials will stop.
Good. I'm glad. Mercy is better than justice. Sometimes.
Robert Califf. Are you Robert Califf?
Yes, I am.
Sir, you saved my life. You and your book. You put an end to the trials in Salem. I came to testify in your behalf in the libel suit.
Thank you, sir, but the libel suit is over.
Over? I thought it was to begin today.
It did. But Cotton Mather was suing me, and he never came to court. The suit was dismissed.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. They arrested my wife in her sickbed, took her away the next morning, calling her a witch and other foul names in front of the children. Why, if you hadn't got the trial stopped, she and I would be dead. Well, I'd like to see all those lying girls whipped in the street, and Reverend Paris hanged where so many innocent people died.
And would that bring John Proctor back to life? Or Rebecca Nurse? Or Giles Corey?
Are we helpless then against such liars?
No, not completely.
Well, what can we do?
Next time, we'll just not believe them. Next time, we'll insist on real evidence, not hysterical accusations. Next time, we'll be wise.
Do you think we will?
If we don't learn from this, then we deserve the destruction that will surely come to us.